Welcome back. It is that time of year, our favorite time of year. It is officially pantry challenge season and I am so excited for it. Every September I do a pantry challenge known as Shelftember, which is a phrase coined by Jordan Page many years ago. I'm not even sure if many people still do it as Shelftember or if we're just calling it a pantry challenge now. But this is something I've been doing for a very long time, even before I heard of it as a pantry challenge. So we are going to be working through a lot of the food in our pantry that's been there for so long. So I am going to talk through so many things about Pantry Challenge, because what even is a Pantry Challenge and how do you get involved? Stay tuned and I will tell you all about it. So let's start off with what is a pantry challenge. A pantry challenge is just that. It's a challenge for using things up in your pantry, and it can be so flexible to fit your needs individually. So for me this year, pantry challenge is looking a little bit differently. I have stocked up a lot more than I usually would before a pantry challenge. Normally I would do all my normal grocery shopping and then I would start a pantry challenge, but this year's a little different. We have some other things going on in our life, so I felt like it was necessary to stock up. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do pantry challenge any differently. So what the challenge is for me, it's going to be using up certain things that have been in my pantry for so long. I want to make sure to be rotating through those items, because otherwise they're going to go bad and I'm going to have to toss them, and I want to avoid that if possible. So my whole goal is going to be use up the things that have been in my pantry forever and start working through them. That way I can refill or backstock the things that we use frequently, and the things that we don't use so frequently I cannot put back in my pantry once we use them up. Pantry challenge is great because it helps save money. I'm going to have a money aspect to this as well, which I'll talk about in just a second. And most importantly for me though, is it's going to use up those things that have been in my pantry for so long. So the second piece of a pantry challenge on top of the food is, yes, it can save you money. What I like to do is I like to pick a set amount. Typically people pick between $25 and $50 for the month to try to stay under. Now, I don't know how doable that is for each person, but for me, that's what I'm going to try. This year, this month specifically, I am doing a no spend month. I'm going to try to spend the most minimal amount that I can. I need to get an oil change, which is not related to Pantry Challenge, but I can do that. I need to get gas occasionally, and I'm hoping that's all I spend. Now, I am allowing myself to do grocery shop if I need to, but only for things like fresh items, and hopefully I won't need that much fresh items because our pears are coming in and our carrots are coming in, our potatoes are coming in, green beans are coming in, tomatoes haven't started yet, but they will soon, zucchini is coming in, and grapes are coming in. So that is why I love this time of year for a pantry challenge, because if you're wanting fresh items and you're a gardener, your garden is producing all of those fresh items and you don't have to worry about going to the store because the items are right there in your backyard. This is my favorite time for pantry challenge. I know a lot of people do the 3 Rivers challenge in January and February, and I've started to as well because it's always good to be using things up from the pantry, but this is my favorite. This is the best time for me to do it, is right when the garden is in full swing and I keep looking out at the garden. So if I'm not looking at you, that's where I'm looking. And it just makes it so much easier because then I don't feel guilty about going to the store. But I will allow myself to go to the store if I need fresh items, and I'm hoping to stay under $50 for the full month. And on top of all this, a little while ago, there was a deal for 10% off of gift cards. So I bought a $500 gift card for $450, and I've been using that to do my grocery shopping for the last month, and I still will have like $150 on it for the month. And so who knows, maybe we'll continue this challenge into October, which is when we typically do Stocktober, and maybe I'll do both. We'll see. I'll have to play it by ear. We have a lot more stocked than normal. I think the only thing I'm running low on is ground beef, and if I can find that before September officially starts, then I will stock up on it first, because I think I only have 3 pounds, which is not a lot. So that brings me to, what are my official goals for the year? So my first goal, of course, stay under $50 for the whole month. Even if I can do less, even better. We're gonna try to not spend money. I'm definitely going to have to go through my pantry and look through to see what I want to use up. There is so much stuff in my pantry right now that would be way too long to have all in this video. So you have that to look forward to. I have a video full of meals, and then we will do a pantry and freezer tour because I am fully stocked up. We recently cut up a ton of chicken, so I have so much chicken in my freezers. We also organized the freezers, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I will link it for you. But I am just ready to hop on in Now, of course, I feel like we can't talk about a pantry challenge and Shelftember without talking about shelf cooking. So what is shelf cooking? Shelf cooking is where you cook from your pantry first. You look through your pantry, you look through your fridge, and you use what you have, and then you supplement with groceries. So that's what I'm going to be doing this whole month. And that's actually how I live my life every day, is I always cook with what I have on hand first. Only this month I'm going to be even more particular about which items I'm using. Instead of just using items I have, I'm going to say I want to use this specific item because it's been in my pantry for a long time. So shelf cooking, you look to see what you have, and then you supplement from the store. The store is the secondary thing. And so I do have a whole worksheet on shelf cooking. If you're interested in it, I will link it. It is for free with my blog membership. Blog membership is free as well, and it gives you access to my newsletter and to all my freebies. So I will link that down below for you, and you're welcome to go sign up. I do a newsletter at the beginning of every month. And so something to be looking forward to for next month is October. We'll have another fun freebie. So we are going to be shelf cooking and making meals, and this is the time of year when my favorite meals come about, because we make food from the pantry that we usually don't make, and it turns out so delicious and then becomes one of the things that we always want to eat forever and ever. So something that surprised me years ago, chickpeas that are canned were on my pantry challenge list, and I was like, I just need to get through these chickpeas and I will never can them again. Well, I figured out that I love chickpeas in curry, and now I keep them canned so that I can put them in a curry. So it might not end up the way you think it's going to. Sometimes the items that are so hard to use are the ones that surprise you, and you end up keeping them stocked in your house. Now, a few questions that I know you have. What if you don't have a huge stocked pantry already? Can you still participate? The answer is yes. The freebie that I have talks all about shelf cooking, which is specifically on the process of using what you have first and supplementing with items from the grocery store. So if you don't have a big stock, you can follow that, and perhaps your pantry challenge just looks different. Like, I'm going to prioritize using these items before I grocery shop, which might be a slight tweak from how you normally do your grocery shopping. That counts, and that is a way to participate in pantry challenge as well, because chances are you have at least something that's been in your cabinet that's been there for a long time that you're like, I'm never going to use that, but this is the month. We're going to use it this month. So let's say you're on the other side of the spectrum and you have a ton of stuff in your house. How do you even get started? What do you do? There are a ton of different ways. It depends on your personality and what you like to do. Some people like to do a whole inventory from their freezers and pantries, and I think that's a little bit too much for me, but if that works for you, do it by all means. What I'm going to do is, in one of the upcoming videos, we are going to look through everything that I have, and I'm going to think, how long has this been in here? Is it going to expire soon? Should I use this up? And if it is, I'm going to write it down. And I've already started my outline for my list, so I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. That way, if you see this video first, you'll be able to start now as well. So here's what I'm doing. So I have just made a list in Google Tasks, and I have put Pantry Challenge at the top, and then I have put each of my different areas of the house. So I have all my different freezers, I have all of my different pantry areas, which I think is just this area now. We're down to one. And then I will go through here and I will add each item in the next video as we go through the pantry. And then I can just check them off and they go to the bottom of the list, but they don't delete. That's my favorite way. I did that last year for the first time, and it was so convenient. Previously, I'd just done it by memory. You could also just do it by memory, or something else that I think I've done before is take everything that you want to use and put it in a certain spot, either a certain spot in your freezer or a certain spot in your pantry. And then that way you know, okay, these are the items I need to prioritize first. I know a frequently asked question is, how do we know what to make when we're basically doing our meal plan in reverse? So instead of making a meal plan and then buying the items for the meal plan, we are looking at the items and making a meal plan around that. So something that I like to do is think through the items, and then you could put into any search engine, or probably even like an AI like ChatGPT, but you can put in chicken recipe with red curry, or red curry chicken. So if I have chicken and I have red curry, and then that'll bring those up. Or I could say like chicken with coconut milk or beef with coconut milk or whatever ingredients. You could put any of your ingredients at the top and it'll give you recipes. All Recipes does that as well. And I bet there's many other places that do as well, but you can just type the ingredients that you have into a search. Heck, I think if you typed it into an AI and you're like, I have all these ingredients, what types of recipes could I make? That could be a game changer. Maybe we'll have to do that. That might be pretty cool. Now I'm thinking this is a new thing. We didn't have AI when I started doing pantry challenges years ago. I mean, heck, did we even have Pinterest? I don't think we even had Pinterest when I started doing them. Which brings me back to, I've been doing this for a really long time. Since I moved out of my parents and I was responsible for doing my own cooking, I've been doing pantry challenges. I just didn't know that's what they were because we didn't have Pinterest and blogs and all of that stuff back then. There might have been blogs, but I had definitely not come across them. I used to go through everything in my pantry and then restock, and then everything in my pantry and then restock, because I was so concerned about making sure I used things up. Now I'm more concerned about having things in my pantry, but I still want to make sure I'm using things up. So if you are going to be joining me, let me know down below. I am very interested to see what your goals for this pantry challenge are. My goals this pantry challenge is to only spend between like $25 and $50, and of course to use up, or at least use up part of, most of the items that I'm going to put on my list. So let me know down below what are the ingredients that you want to use up, and if you guys have any ideas for each other, feel free to help each other out on some recipe ideas. So don't forget to go check out the blog to get the free download so that you can participate as well. If you're participating, of course, let me know. I don't have like a hashtag or anything because this is hashtag Shelftember, which was not created by me, so we can use that hashtag still. I'm sure there's many people who will be using it as well, so we'll be able to see what everybody's doing. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. This is my favorite time of year. I love Shelftember. It's when I get to be creative in the kitchen. Not that I'm not always creative in the kitchen, but it's a whole nother level of creativity that comes from it. So of course, up next, some meals you'll see, then we'll see this big tour, and we are going to figure out what all we need to use up this month. I am so ready to get started on Pantry Challenge. Can't wait to do the tour. The tour is going to happen in the next few days because I still have one more grocery shopping. It's still just the middle of August, and then I will do the tour, but I can't wait to see you then. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. I will link some previous Pantry Challenge videos here for you to watch between now and when we do the tour, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye-bye.